Hello, everyone. Thank you. Welcoming all those who are new and those who are returning. My name is Sybil, and I am ever so grateful for the time and energy you bring to this experience. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment, as this helps get these messages to the collective. And as always, please use discernment, as I am not a licensed professional. So take only what resonates and always seek expert advice in medical, financial, and legal matters. At this time, I just like to soften, take a few breaths, right? Inhale, exhale, just kind of fall in to the heart as we allow the ego to soften and we step into these chambers of remembrance where light and shadow meet, where the old self surrenders and the true sovereign rises. Thank you again for being here. I have not pulled any cards. I just kind of felt the call to come in here and allow spirit to come forward in whatever way that they wish. So let's pull from our Ask Your Guides deck. I'll show you a quick picture of the book here. And see what spirit and the angels have for us today. Okay. We have our teacher guides here with growth. That is number 24. And at the bottom of the deck, we have our joy guides with celebration. And this is number 37. Boy, the tens have really come alive here lately. I've noticed that. I think in the last reading that I did, I had like number 28 and number 55. That was kind of like confirming those endings and those new beginnings. But here with our teacher guides, as number 24, I would just like to read from the book real quick and see what it is that they are bringing forward for us today. So 24 sets 2, 4 is 6. All right. We have courage, desire, initiation, and creativity. Your teacher guides are igniting your imagination, awakening your creativity, and instilling in you the desire to grow to your full potential. Now is the perfect time for you to push yourself and explore new horizons. Have the courage to stretch. Apply for the new position one level up. Apply for the new position one level up at work. Volunteer for the leadership role. Even though you don't feel fully prepared or qualified, believe in yourself and act with the confidence as you step into more responsible, creative, empowered territory. You are more than ready than you realize. Don't hold back. Don't overthink. Don't second guess. And don't play small. Now is the time to think and act big. Your teacher guide's message to you is imagine a bigger, better you. And then our helper guides with number 37 and celebration. Let's just see. This is really good energy. Alignment, harvest, bonding, celebration. You're entering a period of celebration. Your joy guides are at hand, ushering you into a season of personal harvest, success, and completion. This is a time when life gives back to you. You may enter a life affirming relationship, receive an inheritance, land a promotion, close a deal, or just get a long awaited lucky break. Whatever you desire, your joy guides are urging you to prepare for a beautiful blessing because it's surely coming. Realize that as life's tides turn your way, the soon to be realized positive flow of events isn't just a fluke or an accident or the luck of the draw. Rather, it is the natural outcome of your unwavering, loving efforts, hard work, and commitment to your dreams and goals. Your joy guide's message to you is to plan the party you'll soon have. Yeah. Okay, so plan the party you'll soon have reason to celebrate. Well, I mean, can we just leave it there? you know? um, can we just, keep that momentum? Let's see. Let's see what else comes out in the cards. Um, hmm. Let's find out what is the general collective, you know, that is being brought into this energy. What are some of the feelings, right? How are we feeling out there? Mhm. Woo. Um, this might be in the midst where someone is feeling great emotional pain, something hurting them very deeply. It may be being called out of a place of worry and anxiety. Um, Possibly unsure how to cope with the like emotional mechanisms. Um, we have someone here. Sorry, I forget to show you guys these things. We have someone here who is really feeling anguish. They're past blue in the face. This is like it's like shock and awe. Let's get a couple other little cards and see. I feel like, why would you be in anguish if this is coming in? The anxiety I can feel. Let's see. Ooh. Um, I mean, he's not really looking good. It's like the 10 of swords, right? It's like it's more than 10 swords. This is ruthlessness. This is cutting in every direction around the solar plexus. So it's like someone here feels anguish, like they've met something or someone that is ruthless, right? It's like never ending pain and loathing. It's like just the thought of this is making someone feel sick. Like, I mean, look, I mean, it's almost like, you know, coming out with this growth is almost sickening to someone. Oh, well, I mean, let's see. Do we get like our collective up here that's celebrating? See what we can find here. I have to pull these out and shuffle them. They're slippery. Um, Good God. Okay, well, I got hateful. So there's an energy here that is obviously being risen above, right? We've got here someone who is ruthless and hateful, and I mean, just in anguish, absolutely sickened. Like, this is, I don't know, you know, we'll find out. But it's like your growth up here is really hitting the core for someone. I can't imagine. I mean, growth a lot of times can be very painful, right? It causes us to stretch past our comfortability zones, right? We come out of that place where we are comfortable. Um, it may feel like, you know, it cuts in all directions. Um, but to be ruthless and hateful, I mean, it's almost like getting joy out of hurting someone, um, or out of causing pain. And I mean, this loathing, like, oh, it's just a nauseating feeling. Um, hmm. Well, let us see. What deck should we use? Let's pull out our angels real quick and find out what angels are guiding us through this growth. Okay, we have Archangel Raphael and Archangel Zuriel. So this is a healer of physical ailments, answers prayers, recovery, travel, safety, healing, pain, relief, health, wellness, ask for healing or protection from bodily harm during travel, and for help finding a lost love. Malachite, Wednesday, and recovery. And then Archangel Zuriel, angel of harmony and vitality, feeling complete, experiential wisdom, evolve, plan B, create an oasis, balance opposing forces. I hope I help you achieve balance from a change in perspective, compromise, and by finding common ground. Mm. um, Someone here is really needing that healing space, right? Like they're really going through it, and it's almost like an intentional punishment, right? Like someone who no is trying to hold this growth back that just doesn't really like it. And as you grow, it's like triggering this, right? I mean, this is around the solar plexus, so it may feel like a very disempowering energy. I mean, anguish, it causes a pain that reaches to the soul. It makes it, you may not even feel very well, you know. Um, but this hateful energy, I mean, this is just someone who, you know, they can't get a grip. It's like it doesn't matter what you do, you know, growing and focusing and healing yourself and trying to find that place of balance. I mean, it's just made them sick. They're it's just a hateful energy. I don't know where that came from, but let's see what we can get. Um, you got wish, and on the back, nurturing, bountiful, resourceful, in the flow. This may even be a wish come true for you, right? Like this may even be something that you have always desired, and the purple, like your wish come true, is someone else's anguish. You may have actually even come from this place of anguish, of feeling as though the people, the places, the thing, thing, the world around you, it was just a ruthless energy that you've had to expand and grow beyond and rise and transcend above. And now placing that boundary over these energies, right? It can bring, when you come out of a place like this, I've been in a place like this. Unfortunately, I grew up, like I spent the first 20 years of my life in that. Um, and when you first step out, that solar plexus, I mean, you can almost leave you doubled over in anxiety and fear, and oh my god, what if, um it's like releasing the chains that have been built up and held around that solar plexus. I mean, these knives, I mean, whew, they look, you know I mean, painful indeed. um it could even, being in this kind of energy, depending on how long you're in it, it can be it can like breed almost a self-loathing, right? That, you know, you may have even wished for a breakaway, a clean breakaway from that energy that bound, that empowerment, like that that's your confidence. That's the moment before your dreams and your wishes and your goals and your imagination and your creation and your ideas. That's the moment before we draw it up into our heart and put it out into the world with love, coming from such a place where, like, we just, I don't know, hateful, it's like, it's almost like an uncontrollable disgust for maybe your beliefs, right? Your character, something. This energy. We had some pretty thick energy come up last night also. Let's see what else we can get from our guides about this. This is yellow. It says broke spiritual law and manifested a broken law in the physical. And that yellow, that's the solar plexus also. It's almost like this ruthless energy broke some sort of spiritual law. Possibly manifested an injustice in the physical, trying to disempower, right? It's funny because when I see these knives, it's like being bound, right? It's being, may even, if there was a broken law in the physical, it may be, incarceration. It may bring physical jail or something. Like, it's like they're bound spiritually, but it having broken some law in the physical would bind them in the physical also. It's absolutely making them sick to see this growth, this wish come true. I want to clear this energy. I want to step away from this energy now. Sorry if you guys hear that. Let's raise these vibrations a bit. Ask our angels and our guides to come in and just clear this energy as we seek their guidance. I think that we have seen, right, enough there. Let's find out what's going on here for you, because coming out of and rising above that type of energy, it's like I always say, I escaped from home, right? it really takes courage and bravery. This is an energy that um, enforces control through fear, right? Um, through disempowerment, through belittlement, um, through threats of, you know, physical harm. And to come out of that, you have to be seriously like brave. Like you have to have found the courage within yourself to step forward, to even call out and ask your guides and your angels to assist you with this, to help you find that balance, that footing to where you could take the steps to come forward. And I want to congratulate you for, all the work that obviously had to be done to come away from that energy. Feeling a very sharp pain in my left shoulder or my right shoulder. Also, you may have had to carry a lot of, this is almost half the deck, so I'm not going to take it off the floor. I'm going to ask the angels to please keep it on the desk. But you may have had to carry a very heavy load, right? While also feeling bound to this energy. It's like the energy of, when you're in it, a lot of times you can feel like, how do I get out of this? Like it can be difficult to see a way out, right? Because like these knives show all the way around this ruthless energy, solar plexus here, that's like having danger at all sides, right? It's feeling like there's danger at all sides, like you can't move without being cut. And it causes anguish just having these there, probably a mental anguish, very deeply so, like the fear that comes from having to move through these swords and these knives like that. It could almost make you sick. It's like a fear that is so strong that the thought of breaking free, it just makes you sick to your stomach, right? And so someone who has come and risen above this energy has gone through a lot of inner work. They have really had to have faith. This is someone who takes that leap, like it or not knowing one way or another what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong. It's just finally finding that part of you that can just take that leap. Like it's a do or die type of um energy. um Seeing here familiar territory, the path you have always walked is not necessarily the path that leads to your highest potential. If you are staying because it's all you've known, ask yourself, is this truly where I am meant to be? Oh, yeah. We're going to cover them up with that familiar territory. It really reminds me of when I was in this energy, right? And I had been in it for so long that I had also developed relationships, right, with other people, like other children, siblings that were going through this with me. And they kind of like we became family, right? We kind of could hold each other up as much as we could. And so when it came to leaving for me, my heart, you know, was with them. It was a very, it really did cause a lot of anguish, just emotional anguish, mental anguish, spiritual, physical. I mean, I was just so consumed by sorrow for having to leave the ones that I had loved, right? But there came a day that I realized that the only way I was ever truly going to be free was to literally leave it all behind. And that if there was anyone that I was leaving behind, to have faith that they would be covered in the same laws of love and grace and mercy and compassion that I had been covered with. And that in order for me to continue or to be able to help anyone else, I absolutely had to get out of that place, right? Like I said, it was like that do or die energy where it's either rise above or be swallowed by. And it can be a very difficult place to come out of because it is so familiar. As dark as it may have been, it was the only thing that I knew, unfortunately, right? The only thing I knew was the threat of that physical pain, that emotional pain. It was the only thing I had known. It had surrounded me all my life. And I really didn't know if there really was anything better out there. I had lived in it for so long that in my mind, right? Everybody experienced it. It was everywhere. And so I had to really ask myself, what inside of me says that there is something better, right? How do I know there is something better? And the answer that came back was, you don't, but anything's got to be better than this, right? Anything's got to be better than this. And that's the chance I had to take. And it was very difficult for a long time for me to even realize that there were caring people out there, that there were people who would have compassion, who would see my heart, who would be there to lend a hand, to show the way, to guide me into a place where I was not living in suffering. Because even coming out of this energy, there's a time where it's like a grieving period, right? And you begin to realize the true injustices that have been done. It may have even, like, once I realized what had truly been done and the damage and the harm and the intent and the sheer ruthlessness of it, right? It created a loathing and almost a hatred in me for that energy. And that was a period that I had to go through, that I had to conquer. I had to conquer that self-loathing. I had to conquer that hatred, right? That I projected outwardly in order to find that place of peace, to where I could grow, to where I could expand past everything I had ever known, right? Um, let's see here. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. And yeah, strong boundaries do need to be made and placed. And, when it comes to those boundaries, we think, like, this could be someone that when you come out of here, you're there's a period of time too where you're always kind of looking over your shoulder, right? You're looking back to make sure that this is not following you. And there may be times where you get hints of it, right? Where you see that it's kind of coming up, sneaking up behind you, and you can feel like, where am I safe? Where can I go to truly be free from this energy? And how do I set boundaries, right? Like, what kind of boundaries? I remember at one point it was like I didn't even want to go out of my house, right? I just wanted to lock all my doors, barricade myself inside, because at least I was safe there, right? And I always had my little corded telephone nearby, that if I needed to call for help, I could, right? Like, you have to, there's these stages that come and go where you have to really break past that fear that had been instilled and projected onto you. Um, huh, let's see. Okay. Okay. This could have been a relationship where it was like ruthless disciplinary um, actions, like excessive disciplinary actions. It could have been in some sort of sacred union, right? Um, Someone that we had these almost spiritual ties to, right? Those soul contracts with, I mean, for me, mine was my father, right? And that's something that I was born into. That was a soul contract that I had to break free of. And on this, it says, you are not meant to be alone. A divine partnership is part of your journey in this lifetime, bringing mutual evolution and joyful companionship. This, I can tell you, is a very lonely place to exist. And I say exist intentionally, because this is not living, right? This was the part of my life where I would say I was dying, right? Where my ego was dying, right? Where I felt like my heart, my soul was just hanging by a thread, right? But we're not designed and meant to be alone. And we are definitely not designed or intended to be in this ruthless energy, whatever that was for those I'm speaking to, right? Um, and yet, in this energy, a true sacred union cannot exist, right? It's bound at the solar plexus, that those heart's desires can't rise into the heart when the solar plexus is so bound. And it's until we break free of all these swords, right? All of these knives, these truths, these lies, these deceits, these manipulations, these mental attacks that affect us physically like this, you know, it keeps that sacred union from coming into fruition, but it is breaking free of that and stepping forward. And doing the inner healing, right? Of having to let go of any resentment or loathing or hatefulness, that exists in us, so that we can clear that heart space and bring in those more fruitful sacred unions. But we do have a sacred union that is coming, and this isn't always in the form of marriage, right? We're talking about another union here. These rings are kind of linked together, so it's one that you feel a close bond to. It's one that you feel spiritually connected to. One that the love is so strong that it breaks through all of the barriers that have been placed around us in the past. And that sacred union can come through our relationship to the Most High. It comes through our relationship to those who are loving and kind and generous, right? Who are compassionate. Um, we also have divine discipline. Every thought, every action, every word is a command to the universe. Pursue your vision with unwavering dedication and focused intention, and you will be unstoppable. Excessiveness, abundance is not about having everything, it is about having what is right for you. Understand that excess will never fulfill you, but it can surely entangle you. I mean, yeah, it's like an excessive disciplinary control, right? Like breaking free of that space. Um and recognizing that true abundance, right? True fulfillment is that almost what we perceive as the tiny little space in the center of our chest, right? That space that love does exist. But when we tap into that, that grows, right? With every prayer, with every thought, with every wish, with every word, with every promise that we make to ourselves that we are going to heal and love and grow, that love within us grows. Our heart expands, right? And that expansion brings in an abundance that cannot be maintained inside a boundary because it spills out everywhere. It's like life becomes your kingdom, right? There may have even been a lot of excessive celebration type things, like you think about parties, right? You're thinking about um the excessive behaviors, the addictions, um, to those things which bring pleasure, right? So it's really overcoming a lot of that. I mean, I have been there and I totally get it. I know that it can be difficult. Um, having, I mean, I'm just having, this unwanted energy. What seems like an opportunity may come with strings attached before you come to anything, commit to anything, look deeper. Oh my goodness. I did it again, guys. I am so sorry. I did it again. Do not disturb. Um, Harmful influences. Says not all who surround you support your highest good. Pay attention to relationships and influences that lower your vibration and cloud your judgment. Protect your energy by choosing your interactions wisely. What seems like an opportunity may come with unseen strings attached. Before you commit to anything, look deeper. Are you stepping into alignment or unknowingly inviting an energy that may overwhelm you? Ooh, well, there, there you go. Actually, I'm going to kind of do this, right? Because someone, I don't know, you know, I'm going to be honest. Like, I feel like all of us have been through so much, right? Through so much that, it's even I feel like, when is it going to end? Like they really are unwanted energies. And that's the good thing about it, right? Is that we don't really want those energies. But when we've been surrounded by them, I feel like this has been something that has gone on for a long period of time and just trying to break through. They can call to us. It can be very tempting to go back because once we break free and we realize that we are safe and that we can do it and that we have this power within us to rise above, to grow, to expand past all of this, we can look back and go, well, I do miss so and so, or I do miss that, or, you know, and we start to kind of make these exceptions because we know we've already done it. But Spirit's really saying this is not an energy you want to go back to, right? Like you've done it once. You don't want to have to do this again for real. Um, I really want to move, you know, away from that energy. So let's see. Where's my tarot here? Yeah, you have been very resilient. And there's something about the Nine of Wands, okay, that I kind of feel very strongly when I see this card, right? Each one of those wands is an inspiration, it's a desire, it's a moment where we have come forward with this spark of creation, this spark of life that brought excitement, that brought momentum, right? And a lot of times good news too, right? Because when we get that spark of life, that ace of wands, that's true breakthrough energy. That is something that we feel coming from the soul, from spirit that says, yes, I can do this. Yes, I've got that, right? And then we come into this ruthless energy and it becomes a battle to hold that spark. And a lot of times it can feel like defeat, but we pick up the next wand, right? And we keep going. And then we pick up the next wand and we keep going. And Spirit's recognizing how difficult this journey has been and how much strength and how much life force it has taken to bring you this far. And they want you to know that every one of the wands that you have picked up, every one of them that may have been dropped or threatened to go out, that they are now standing with you, that you have always had them with you, that you have never lost that, right? It may feel like it has been buried under a lot of this excessive energy, right? This unwanted, harmful energy. It may feel like it's been buried at times, but Spirit's coming forward and saying, look at them as your ancestors, right? For every time you picked up a wand and thought you had it, and then found out that there was a trap or a snare, and you may have fell, and you may have felt like you dropped that wand, that chance, new idea, right? That new opportunity. Know that the ancestors have picked it up and that they are standing with you and they are carrying those wands for you in a time where it may have felt like you couldn't carry another wand, let alone the one in your hand, or carry the wand that you have, let alone another wand. This is someone who I feel has the ancestors walking with them, right? And it may not always be recognizable, especially when you're rising out of this, but know that it's like God is with you, right? God, the creator of all things, is with you. It's not something you can leave, right? That coming out of this place, that spark, that vitality, that dream, that passion, that desire is still there. And yes, you have already spiritually, I feel in your spirit, you can feel that drive, that momentum, right? And they're saying, keep going, right? Keep pushing forward because you have so much support and there is a celebration at the end. You are coming into this true celebratory energy, no matter how difficult it may have been, right? Those things that you have wished for, they are here. They are coming in for you. This could be reclaiming your sense of abundance from the inside out, realizing that true wealth begins within. We have here the Nine of Pentacles, but it's in reverse, right? And in the Nine of Pentacles to me can be kind of like a pre-Empress energy, but it's someone who has worked very hard for everything that they have, right? And they have so much that they can share. Like she has 6 pentacles balanced on top of one another here that she can be generous with, right? That she can give with. And she still has 3 pentacles behind her, tucked away safely. In the reverse, it can feel very much like you don't have enough to make this journey. You can feel like the journey is laborious, right? Like it's just a laborious journey. It takes a lot of strength. It takes it's like that long haul energy, right? Do I have what it takes, right? Do I have enough to sustain myself? And the thing is that I believe, yes, you do, because if you hadn't had the ability to sustain yourself, right? If the value wasn't there, we wouldn't be looking at the Nine of Pentacles, not even in a reverse position. So I feel like it's changing that perception and recognizing that the true abundance and the true resources and the things that you truly need to make it through this journey are within you, and that changing that perception brings that Nine of Pentacles upright into that fertile energy, right? Where your seeds have been planted and you're recognizing the growth of them. Let's see what else we have. And the nines, we're in the year 2025. It adds up to 9. It's a 9-year. We're here to finish the job, right? This is finishing the job. This is tying up any loose ends. This is looking at this energy and saying goodbye forever, right? It's coming out of that, rising above, recognizing that the boundaries need to be held in place, that we are protected, we are guided, we always have been, that we do have everything that we need, that spark of life and creation is not gone, that we still hold the abundance that we've always dreamed of having and being within us. Truly. Okay, that was too many. We'll take this one down. This is, yeah, look at this. This is the Empress. It is the divine feminine energy that brings an abundance of creativity, fertility, and prosperity, right? I mean, she births worlds, she births galaxies. It's coming out of this place of, it's like fear and terror and loathing and just all of this, harmful energy. It may have been caused self-harm at times, but it's recognizing that you do have the discipline and the divine support to maintain that momentum and to obtain that sacred union and celebrate. It's recognizing that abundance is within you, and that when you feed the abundance that is within you, it grows, it expands, right? It's not like this energy down here that wraps itself around your solar plexus, disempowering you with every step, shrinking you with every step, right? This is stepping into creation. This is stepping into recognizing that spirit within, that soul spark, that soul fire, that vitality, that source that is within you, and co-creating with that source, right? I mean, this is truly breaking free of bondage, right? This is truly coming out of a place of bondage. And look at this. Oh my God, I love spirit. I could cry. Y'all, I get really emotional during these sometimes. It's the Ace of Wands. It's your new beginning. You've always had it within you. You have always had it within you. It has never left you. That fire has never been put out. Congratulations. Because this is an energy where a lot of fires would have been put out. But you persevered. You stood strong. You put that past behind you and moved forward into a place where you weren't sure if you were going to be supported, if you were going to be loved, if you were going to be safe, if you were going to be heard. But you did it anyway. And then along the way, you found out that, you know what? There is an abundance within me. There is life within me. There is enough. I know enough. I have enough to sustain myself. There was a point, a turning point, where you recognized that that abundance comes from within you, and that no matter what anybody tried to do, that they could never take what was truly valuable, what truly sustained you. And it's that turning point that flipped that 9 of Tokens from an upside down position to a right side up position. And you step into co-creating with the universe. You step into that Empress energy that is so abundant, that is so loving and caring and nurturing and kind and gentle and fruitful, right? So compassionate. It's like finding Mother Spirit, right? Mother Goddess, or like, our divine feminine and divine masculine. They're like the divine father and mother. It's allowing yourself to be held in that energy and allowing that true spark to come through to say, hey, You never lost it. I'm still here. And now's your opportunity. Take this wand, take this inspiration, take this new idea, take hold of the spirit within you and go forth into a new life, a new place of abundance and prosperity and celebration, where you will come into union with those who know their worth and can recognize your worth, those who embrace you, right, with love and generosity of spirit. That's absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. This is someone who has really, you've really had to choose you, and you've had to choose you over everything that you've ever known. It's a very difficult journey to come through. I know it takes a lot. There are a lot of times where I really didn't know if I had it in me to make it another day, let alone another year. You know, yeah, you went within. This is, defeat, bondage, solitude, right? I mean, this is really, that is that 10 of swords that's wrapped around his solar plexus. That is that betrayal. That is every sword, right? When we get an ace of swords, we have a breakthrough. We have an epiphany. There is a victory that comes through. There is an idea that comes through, a truth that comes through. But this energy down here does not know how to handle those swords. To this type of energy, those swords are weapons, and they are weapons that inflict anguish, right? They inflict loathing and hatefulness. And the thing is we have 10 swords, right? And this is someone who has literally, we've got here the hermit, right? So they have literally gone within, they've gone into the depths of the soul, and they have come out of that with these 10 swords in their back. And it's been able to find the light within, right? That said, wait a minute, I am breaking free of this bondage. I am breaking free of these restrictions. Life is not meant to be a punishment. This is disciplinary actions because you stepped a hair out of line, right? This is that excessive disciplinary type of energy where you are mine, and this is where you will stand, and this is how long you will stand here, and you won't move until I say you can move. And if you do, I'm wrapping your solar plexus with these swords to remind you that moving out of line is going to cause pain, right? When you've been wrapped like that, it is so hard to believe that if you take one step for yourself, that it's not going to be painful. It really instills a fear in you that every move you make is somehow going to end up as that ace of swords in reverse in your back, right? This is bringing an ending to that bondage. It is saying it is dead, done, and over. I am rising, like it or not, sick or not, angry and hateful or not, jealous or not. It doesn't, anything is better than this. And it took a lot of soul searching just to find that, just to find that. And then coming through, right? Ending that. That's death. That is, it says here, something in your life, an identity, belief, relationship, habit, or cycle is ready to die, right? Like you may have even felt like you were ready to die, but there was that one spark inside you that said, not today. Today I rise. Today I end all of this pain and this suffering and this bondage and these addictions and these obsessions, whatever it may have been for you, right? This threat of maybe even pain and violence, you found it in you and said, not today. Today I rise. Today I change. Today my life changes. And it's like you got the hell out of Dodge. And I say kudos to you. Um, and this is, I mean, really, now we have here the Queen of Swords and the Sun, right? You used that final sword. You took one of those swords, at least one of those swords out of your back, and you held it upright. And you said, today I choose a new life. Today I choose wisdom. Today I choose happiness and joy and abundance. You may even be coming into a point to where you want to tell your story, right? To where you want to share the wisdom that you have gleaned from the days that you spent in the dark, right? In that death and dying energy, and how you broke free, and how you found that place of abundance, and how you found that place of joy. Because you're definitely, I mean, this is a wish come true, right? Look at this. This is a wish come true. There is celebration coming here. It's just, it's taken so much time to to really put that boundary there, to put that to rest, right? To let that go and to know that you are safe to come forward and that you are loved and that you will be celebrated, right? To choose to step in to that higher vibrational destiny. That that right there, that is victory. That is victory and success and abundance. That is seeing everything in your world clearly. It is knowing all of the nooks and crannies that exist within you, right? It is feeling safe to step out and allowing the sun to shine on you. And there is triumph. This is the Six of Wands. It's recognition and support surround your accomplishments, boosting your confidence. You so deserve this. I am telling you that someone that has been wrapped and bound, such as this, at their solar plexus through all of this ick, right? Through all of the muck and the mire. This is the lotus blooming. You deserve this. You deserve this victory. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to be seen. You deserve the recognition and the support and the love and the celebration. You deserve to have your day in the sun. And this is it. And I give you, oops, sorry about that. I'm just getting excited, but I am giving you the biggest hug of light and healing and love. I honor your journey, for I know that this has not been easy. And I am sending you so much love and so much healing at this time. And I want to thank you for the light that you bring to this world, because this is invaluable. This is priceless indeed. And I wish you all the best. I know that you have the best coming toward you. You've got your guides here that are celebrating you, and they are showing you that this is coming into fruition for you, that you have truly overcome life's challenges to the darkest degrees, and that now is your day to shine. And I am so very, very, very happy for you. Um, I'm going to leave it here. I don't want to keep you any longer. So I will now return your energy to you, pure and whole, as I receive my energy back, pure and whole, allowing only that which is light to remain. And so it is. And may you go in love and gratitude and peace.